always wait for that little ting or that little ping that says, okay, this is the one. And there's a quote here from Maya Angelou that says, there's no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside of you. And I think all actors, all of us can relate to that, because that's what we feel. I got something to say. I can do this. I want to do this. And that's the hook, right? That's what gets us into the game. And then what we find out is a whole bunch of other things that we hadn't envisioned that, you know, attack us daily. The rejection, the saying, oh, it's not personal. Well, it is personal. The periods where you go, where you don't book anything, or how do I get, that was my first week in Hollywood, is, well, you got to get a SAG card. Oh, cool, where do I get that? Well, you can't. What do you mean I can't? No, you can't get a SAG. What do you mean I can't go? Well, it's, how much does it cost? And he said, well, $300 at that time. That was a deal. I said, well, I'll just pay the, no, well, you can't. Well, what do you have to do to get a SAG? We have to have a job. Okay, I'll get a job. No, you can't get a job without a SAG card. So this kind of stuff, and then you figure it out. And those are the easy parts. But what we realize over time is that it is. I was watching Braveheart again, and I love so many lines in there. He says, "First, you need to learn to use this, and then I'll teach you how to use this, the sword." Right? And it's like that in all of our lives, and particularly being an actor. We're you're a CEO of your own little company, and you have to have your mind right, and you have to be the one that encourages you when the moments are the darkest and things look not too good. And they happen in every life, but it seems to be particularly intense in an actor's life. And the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. Y'all have seen the Three Little Monkeys with, you know, speak no evil, hear no evil, see no evil. Well, that's true. Thoughts have power. Words have power. If you don't believe that, just think about being in a relationship and saying the wrong thing at the wrong time. Not cool, right? Words have power. We take them in, and thoughts have power. So if we're feeding ourselves negative stuff all day long, guess what happens in our life? I used to, before I became an actor, I was in sales and marketing, and I had all these, some of you, if I bored you with this story already, forgive me, but it's a good story. Anyway, I was having really a lot of trouble, and I read Norman Vincent's Power of Positive Thinking, so I had all these little 3x5 cards with throw your heart over the bar and your body will follow, and you know, you can have everything you want, and all that's in the magic of your mind, and blah, 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 and they literally papered my walls. And then my boss would come down and work with me, and all I did was bitch. Well, I can't sell this, and I can't sell that, and I can't do this, and I can't do that. And he looked at me one day and he said, you got to stop singing the Ballad of the Rectal Bioptic. And I went, what? He said, you're singing the Ballad of the, and I said, well, okay, well, I'll buy, what's the Ballad of the Rectal Bioptic? He said, you have your head up your ass. And I did. And that was why I read the thing and got all those things put up there. And it was interesting because once he had that lecture, and once I read the book and put all the signs up and really started saying these like mantras every day. And at first I thought, well, this is kind of stupid, but then they became like a pill you take, or like an energy drink, or a cup of coffee in the morning. It was something I did every day. And all of a sudden things started to change. And my boss told me later that he actually, after the lecture and everything, there was a time period he came down again to work with me, and he was told to fire me. And when he saw the signs up, and when he saw the belief in things that I was trying to do, he hung out for a while. And all of a sudden things turned around. And I was selling the same equipment. I was going to the same people. I had the same sales pitch, everything was the same except this. And there's something about it. Can't you tell when somebody walks in a room how they're feeling if they come in and they're all, hey, how you doing? It's right. Wow, that's up there. And if they come in, hi. Yeah. Well, that's how we show up in auditions sometimes, right? We're so focused on what we're trying to do and what we're supposed to do that we forget to bring us into the room, right? Be comfortable and all that kind of stuff. And then there's those times at home, etc., where we start thinking about the wrong things. So it's extremely powerful that while you're in that gym, you're also exercising your mind as well as your body. One of my favorite things is to say, the saying is, an amateur is one who keeps at it until he gets it right. A professional is one who keeps at it until they cannot get it wrong. That's the difference between basically you who are in this class. This is what this class is all about. Because, you know, you'll go out there and you'll go, wow, that was great. I killed it, right? And then you can't recreate it. That's danger. What we want to learn as a professional is how to take a piece of material and make it happen every single time. And that takes persistence and determination. This is a good one for actors. Faith consists in believing when it is beyond the power of reason to believe. Faith consists in believing when it is beyond the power of reason to believe. Your mind says you can't, but you know the body's willing, and that's back again to Norman Vincent Peale. Throw your heart over the bar and the body will follow. Body's meat, doesn't know. You know, there has never been anybody that's invented anything great or done anything great that hasn't been called an idiot by somebody, or it said, yo, you can't possibly do that. It's a human thing. And it basically means people too weak to follow their own dreams will always find a way to discourage yours. Don't you have naysayers? Friends, family? Somebody, something, somewhere? You know, somebody said, what do you do? And you, oh, I'm an actor. Oh, what have you been in? Well, trouble for a lot of the time. But, the summarization of this is we cannot become what we need to be by remaining what we are. If you have a dream and if you have a desire, you have to do something to get there. And that means taking risks, and that means failure. Caroline brought me a quote today by a writer that was basically saying, and I'm paraphrasing this and characterizing it maybe in the wrong way, but they said when you start something new for a while, you're not going to do it very well. And that's where most people drop off, right? Oh, this is too hard. I can't do this. But if you have that heat and you have that need and you have that want and that desire, you will keep at it. And there will become a time, if you're working at it and consistent in trying to do it and not just hoping that it's going to happen, there will be a time at which you acquire, okay, I can do this. I have the power that I need because I worked through it. And it's like that, what is the other saying? Repetition is the mother of any skill. It's no different with acting. There will come a time when all of a sudden it's not so hard. But during that inception of the desire where I say, I want to go down this path, and where you achieve some kind of excellence or some kind of control over it, there's a lot of stumbling blocks and a lot of places that you can fall down. So the main thing that you have to do is keep mentally strong while you're also working at it. I think it's the number one cause of, if not unhappiness, of certainly cause of problems in actors' lives, if you don't keep your mind right and understand that you're on a journey, right? And you're not there yet, and you're not as good now as you're going to be tomorrow, but you're going to keep at it until you get there. Thanks for listening.